Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered series. This is a great day. We are starting Soul Reaver 2. Let's double check our sound. Yeah, we might have to adjust that as we go, but seems good to me. We're not worry about controls. Now, Soul Reaver 1, I had vague remembrances of. I know I've played all the Soul Reaver. I think the only of the Legacy of Kain series I haven't played is the first Legacy of Kain game. I went back and played all of them after I started, and I have recently purchased all the Soul Reaver, all the Legacy of Kain games. I got them across Steam and GOG, and then one I actually already own through on my PS3 through the PS1 Classics. However, I have access to them here now also. So Defiance might come up. I might play Defiance afterwards and potentially even look into running the original Legacy of Kain game. There's no rush on that, but I am super excited to jump into Soul Reaver 2, start recollecting some of this fantastic series, and see where we go, because I totally did not recall that Soul Reaver 1 left off, and basically Soul Reaver 2 is just the continuation of Soul Reaver 1. So we get to continue the adventure.
At last. I must say I'm disappointed in your progress. I imagined you'd be here sooner. Tell me, did it trouble you to murder your brothers?
Did it trouble you when you ordered me into the abyss?
Eternity is relentless, Raziel. When I first stole into this chamber centuries ago, I did not fathom the true power of knowledge. To know the future, Raziel. To see its paths and streams tracing out into the infinite. As a man, I could never contain such forbidden truths. But each of us is so much more than we once were. Do you not feel with all your soul how we have become like gods? As such, are we not indivisible? As long as a single one of us stands, we are legion. Our futures are predestined. Moebius foretold mine eons ago. We each play out the parts fate has written for us. Free will is an illusion.
I found the tomb of Sarafan Kane. How could you profane a priest by turning him into a vampire?
How could I not? One must keep his friends close, Raziel, and his enemies even closer. Who better to serve me than those whose passion transcends all notions of good and evil?
The Sarafan were saviors, defending Nazgûl from the corruption that we represent. My eyes are open, Kane. I find no nobility in the unlife you rudely forced on my unwilling corpse.
You may have uncovered your past, but you know nothing of it. You think the Sarafan were noble, altruistic? Oh, don't be simple. Their agenda was the same as ours. You nearly had me, Raziel. But this is not where or how it ends. Fate promises more twists before this drama unfolds completely.
Wild, good recap.
Messiah. Welcome, time span soul. Welcome to your destiny. Where am I? Is the usual question. In your case, when might be more apt.
Very well, you old snake. If you'd prefer I use my bare hands.
This is completely unexpected. This orb disables our vampire enemies, leaving them helpless and incapacitated. Strangely, it seems to have the same effect on that peculiar weapon of yours. But you must believe me. I mean you no harm.
You can drop the benevolent facade, Moebius. I know who and what you are. I should kill you where you stand.
Perhaps you should, my boy. But you don't.
Are you so certain of that, Moebius?
My role as Time Guardian affords me a certain level of omniscience, Raziel. No, you don't kill me. That honor belongs to your maker, Cain, some 30 years from now.
Ah, you two are a pair. You're just as fatalistic as he is.
Death comes for us all, Raziel. It's just a matter of time.
How is it that you know my name? We have never met.
On the contrary, Raziel, I know you very well. And it grieves me to see how cruelly Cain has used you. I knew you when you were one of the Sarafan Brotherhood, Raziel. We were even close.
Oh, please.
Fortunately, you need not love me now to be my ally.
Are we within the stronghold of the Sarafan priesthood?
Yes, but the glorious days of the Sarafan have long since passed, I'm afraid. This is a more cynical and indecorous age. My mercenary army now inhabits this stronghold. We strive to honor the memory of the Sarafan with our own humble crusade.
Is this the vampire Vorador?
Yes, the scourge of the Circle, the most depraved and decadent example of his whole degenerate race. He slaughtered 6 of my fellow Guardians as they cowered defenseless in this room.
Those are
you
Raziel and his
somehow
brothers.
survived this massacre?
I and 2 others. The Circle was devastated. Only we 3 were spared.
How convenient. You'll forgive me if I don't naively devour every scrap of information you toss me. You have a reputation for deceit.
And who has slandered me so? Your malefactor, Cain? The one who betrayed and destroyed you? Our common enemy? Consider the source before you judge me too harshly. We'll forget about rekindling our old friendship then. But consider an alliance based on our common ground. We both want Cain dead. I can help you do it.
You don't want to meddle in this, old man. I know all about your sordid little schemes, but you're simply out of your depth on this one.
You underestimate me, Raziel. Let me show you. Even now, Cain is lying in wait for you, unaware that I've snatched you out of the time stream and brought you here to me. See how he lingers at the very pillars he is destined to destroy, foolishly confident that he has eluded your grasp.
The pillars are still standing in this time.
Yes, Raziel. They are the embodiment of the divine force which preserves the life of our world. We who serve the pillars maintain their delicate balance, and Cain is destined to be the fulcrum upon which that balance turns. I believe you have already endured the wasteland wrought by his terrible, selfish decision. Cain's very existence is a cancer upon this world. As long as he lives, all of Nosgoth is in peril. You may never again be human, Raziel.
but you can re-embrace the essence of your humanity and the nobility of your Sarafan heritage. Go to him, Raziel, and end this. But first, you will need to find your way out of the stronghold, and in this, I'm afraid I cannot help you. My soldiers will not understand your appearance here. They will try to kill you. You needn't fear them, of course. They're no match for you. Try to keep the casualties to a minimum. But do what you have to do. All great movements require a few martyrs.
Homie's just willing to sacrifice his people, his men. Someone trustworthy there.
Alone now, I surveyed my surroundings and noticed a second time-streaming chamber. Its entrance identical to the first, but with one distinction. That crystal was significant, but how, I had not yet discovered.
Okay. So initial thoughts. Look at like the upgrade in graphical quality from the first one to what is like in this. Poses, like it looks great. The environments seem a bit more vivid. I thought these games came out quite close to each other. We have Reavers and the map here. All right, well, let's get into it. Oh yeah.
Here it comes.
You're not locked in here with you, but the combat greatly upgraded. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Where's my Reaver? Oh, maybe it's because. Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Oh yeah, look at this guy doing acrobatics. Oh, you got 2 attacks now? Off with his head, homie. Let's go. This is gonna be wild. Alright, now give me the dual wield. No. I'll stick with this giant sword for sure. Oh! How's audio? I feel like I felt like it was a little low. We could be on point, but it's spiking a bit. So I'll just watch this back and see what happens. Keep the casualty. Oh. Yes. Let's go. Shift. Well, I have to do my first shift. Like the addition of the rats. It's huge.
Throughout the stronghold, I discovered evidence of my former nobility and my life as a Sarafan priest. This was the heritage so foully stolen from me when Cain raided my sacred crypt and defiled me.
Oh, boys. Oh, some hits there, hey, buds? Oh, yeah, this is This is lovely. What an action combat game. Can I throw this? Fucking block. Oh no. Ah. Damn. Scope around a bit. Drink it all in. That's where I came into here. This way. Must have been where I came in then. I guess I cannot phase that one. It will be what pushes us to do our first phase. Reaver. Got where are the little homies at? Oh wow, soul's totally different in here. I don't think we need to look around too much. We'll get to all that later.
Away from the influence of Moebius's cursed staff, I could feel the strength of the Soul Reaver slowly returning. If that orb was as debilitating to vampires as it was to the blade, it gave Moebius a powerful advantage over his enemies. I finally understood how Moebius's crusade could decimate the vampires so successfully. If he could immobilize his enemies, they were at his mercy. But why, I wondered, would the staff have any effect on the Reaver?
Fun weapon. We got something kicking around here. I mean, we should almost just do this. Not bad. There we go. That's fine. It disintegrates them. Gotta die first. Look at how they duck. Oh. It straight up just vaporizes people. It's true lightsaber goodness. Oh no, I don't want this. How do I throw it? Get rid of this. There we go. Oh, we still have our laser blaster. Oh, where are you at? Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see if it vaporizes people. Or do I have to finish them? No, yeah, they're dead. Oh, good. So into like a bit of upgraded combat after going through the first one. Oh! Weapon. Oh, she's nasty. How do I do that? these. Actually, you know what? No. Preference is very much so for the sword. This thing's pretty good. They're probably gonna make me transition to the Spectral Realm in a sec here, anyways. Yeah, this I'm extra hyped now. You know, if you're part of my community and you follow along, like you know.
As I neared the stronghold's inner sanctum, a strange sensation crept over me. An indescribable feeling of displacement, a sense of vertigo, as reality itself appeared to warp and bend around me. The disturbance seemed to emanate from the sanctuary's furthest chapel. As I cautiously approached, the sense of dislocation intensified with each step. So this was the tomb of the beloved King William the Just, beatified here as the martyr and catalyst of Moebius's crusade. I was reminded of Kain's journey as a fledgling vampire, how Moebius coerced him to travel back in history and assassinate William, thus igniting a genocidal hatred of vampires among the citizens of Nosgoth. And here I discovered the source of the displacement. The Soul Reaver itself, laid out like a holy relic, and broken, apparently in the battle between William and Kain. I had not thought such a thing was possible. Until, of course, Kain shattered the blade against me when he tried to strike me down. Thus, the captive spirit inhabiting the Reaver was released, and binding itself to me, became my symbiotic weapon. And so the Reaver met its former self, still imprisoned in this corporeal shell. I watched, mesmerized, as the Wraith blade uncoiled itself and snaked down the length of the physical blade. Embracing its twin, its mirror self, the Reaver's long dormant spirit was now fully aroused. And for the first time, I felt the true presence of this other entity. Willful, ravenous, and deranged from thousands of years of imprisonment. The Reaver was now in command, and I, now merely its helpless host, felt my soul being leached to restore the blade.
Let's
but the
go.
Reaver knew better than to destroy its host, and just as I neared the brink of oblivion, the blade released its hold on me. As I recovered, I realized we were now bound together in a fragile alliance. The Reaver no longer merely my symbiotic weapon, but a sentient parasite competing for control.
What have you done to me, Moebius? Is this your trap?
How mine? Don't forget it was Kain who led you here, not I. While you curse me, the only soul in Nosgoth ready to guide and assist you, Kain laughs at our folly and revels in your dismay.
These blades, now coiled in sinister embrace, have inspired terror in the hearts of creatures far more durable than you, old man. Bound together as they are, I can only imagine what they could do to your soul's fragile shell.
Raziel, I beg you to stay your hand. This was none of my doing. I have sought only to aid you in your righteous quest.
Why, you're trembling, Moebius. Has your confidence abandoned you? You seem to have made a fatal error by leaving your precious staff behind. Is that where all your courage comes from?
Listen to me, Raziel. You don't know what you're doing. I have taken an enormous risk by appearing here before you, so defenseless, yet eager to prove my good intentions. If there's anything left of the Seraphim in you, you won't do this. While you threaten me, your true enemy eludes you.
Don't concern yourself with Kain, old man. He'll join you in hell soon enough. As you said, death comes for us all.
Yes, the Wheel of Fate demands it.
What did you say?
The Wheel of Fate. The inexorable cycle of death and rebirth to which all men are compelled. We serve the same God, Raziel. To strike me down, would be striking God's own attendant. And I don't believe even you would take that risk.
I tire of your games, Moebius. Now that I know you fear me, I needn't concern myself with you. Cain is waiting for me.
Go then, Raziel. Seek Cain out and destroy him in the name of the one God we both serve. You, who were once a Seraphim priest, murdered, profaned, destroyed, and reborn again from his mercy. You are now most powerfully equipped to be his agent, his instrument of restoration and retribution.
My own vengeance is motivation enough.
By my soul, you almost had me, my little blue assassin. But that'll be the one and only chance you get. I assure you of that.
I could now summon the blade at will, regardless of my strength. But once summoned, the blade's ravenous appetite could not be contained. It devoured the souls of its victims, and if I allowed it to become over-aroused, the Reaver would now turn its hunger on me.
Oh, what a twist. So that's how it sets my health lower. Why did I throw away the physical blade, though? This is locked now. So this would be... circle device to activate. Yes. So good. Oh, okay, everybody. I think we're going to keep this first episode a little bit shorter. I was saying earlier, like, if you know me, you know I just get stoned. Like, two things with gaming with me. I'm really amped about most games. I'm super easygoing. I like experiencing art and story and the combat, worlds that are built by devs, and seeing a lot of that. I'm a lot more forgiving than a lot of people. But I'm also a real piece of work when it comes to hiccups that I dislike, things that happen. Some examples: I just recently played a DLC for a pretty popular game, and the final boss really set me off. It was stupid mechanics. It makes me angry. So there's an alternate side to both of those, the happy and the tilted. But it's like, I am so excited to get into this and play more Soul Reaver and experience a Soul Reaver game that I don't know so well. It was Soul Reaver 1 that I played over and over again as a kid. Soul Reaver 2, Defiance, the other Legacy of Kain games, they were enjoyed, but I don't remember any of this. This is all going to be super fresh. So, yeah, and the updates to combat, the ability to summon the Reaver right away. I think the Reaver is going to get more powers, and a lot more of the powers will relate around the Reaver here. But, oh, look at it. It's my soul. That is crazy.
So this was the legendary Janos Ordrin, reputed to have been the most ancient and diabolical vampire to have ever existed. According to folklore, he lived high in the cliffs of Nosgoth's northern mountains and preyed mercilessly on the defenseless villages below. His reign of terror ended when the Seraphim finally hunted him down and tore his throbbing heart from his still-living body. This relic came to be known as the Heart of Darkness, and was supposedly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife. The Seraphim therefore guarded it carefully, lest the heart fall into the hands of their enemies. But I wondered, could Janos Ordrin truly have been as monstrous as depicted here? Or was this merely artistic license by the Seraphim, who sought to lionize themselves by demonizing their darkest enemy?
I love this too, the way they're telling the story, and these tapestries, these stained glass windows that like basically hold the history. And I guess moving on, anytime we come across stuff like that, we're gonna want to make sure we're paying attention to it. Yeah. So, as I said though, this episode's a wrap. Thanks so much for coming along. Do me a huge solid, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Part of the gang here. Check out some of the communities. There's a link to the Discord in my channel links. You can check out a bunch of other community members there that I have linked up, and they do great things, cover great games, and have very varied and different playstyles. So communities are growing and thriving. I'm glad to be a part of it. I appreciate you coming through. Adios.